hold it down. I kind of feel embarrassed because there's no fire trucking in my story. It's a story of how when I first ran a 10K race under 48 minutes, and I'm trying to figure out how I can work fire trucking into that, but it's just not happening yet, but it may do by the time I get to the end, because I didn't take up running until I lived in Vancouver in the late 1990s. I was working on a TV show there, and I was the producer, and the executive producer ran. He didn't actually have meetings, but he would run with you. So you had to go running with him. And I didn't run, and so I had to run 3 times a week to have my meetings with him to talk about the show. And at first it killed me, absolutely killed me, but the good thing was I actually got better than him as time went by. And I started doing these races and stuff. Like it's kind of like drugs, you know. You start with 5K and you think, I can handle this, it's okay. And then you go, I can do a 10K, you know, I'm big enough for that, you know. And you think, I'm never going to do a marathon, but you think, maybe I will one day, you know. But anyway, this show I was working on, we supported projects in the community, and they have something called Squamish Days. You've probably seen it on ESPN, where they do log rolling and lumberjack things. They cut down trees, they saw things. And Squamish is about 1 hour north of Vancouver. And so we said we would support the show, and they asked for like 3 people, one to open the Squamish Days, another one to judge the beauty contest, and the third to run the 10K. So obviously I volunteered to do the beauty contest. But they wanted a TV star to do that, so I do the 10K. So I get out there on a Sunday morning. I think it was about 7:30, pouring with rain, because this is Vancouver. And there's all these people there, and they're all taking it terribly, terribly seriously. And then I find out it's actually one of the Timex-specific series races, which is apparently a big deal. And I'm talking to this one woman, and she said, I'm really pissed off. She said, I only had like an hour to warm up, and I'm really stiff from doing the Portland Marathon on Thursday. And I said, oh, what was your time? She goes, I came second. And I go, bloody hell, you came second in the Portland Marathon? Like, for me, a warm-up is like, okay, I've just done it. Okay, that's it. So we start this race, and my goal was to break 48 minutes, okay? And I would knock out 5-minute kilometers, no problem. I could do them over and over and over again, but I'd never broken 48 minutes for the race. And so we set off, and they mark, if any runners in the room? Yeah. You know how they mark the course, so you can see the mile markers, the kilometer markers? So they mark the course in kilometers. So we set off, and I'm coming up to the first kilometer marker, and I am dying. Absolutely dying inside. My guts are and I'm not at the front, I'm at the back. And I'm really, really suffering. And I'm looking at my watch, and it's 5 minutes, 5 minutes 10, 5 minutes 20. And as we get up to the marker for the kilometer, which I should have done in 5 minutes, I realize it's a mile. Because they marked it in miles so the Americans wouldn't think they were in France. And so I think, I've just done a mile in 5 minutes and 32 seconds. That's amazing. And I carry on. I don't actually remember the next 4 kilometers. But I get to the halfway point, and I turn, I look at my watch. It's like 21 minutes and 30 seconds. And I'm going, this is unbelievable. And then the new Mary Tyler Moore show starts happening in my head. Because in one ear I have Ted Baxter. In the other, anyone remember this? In one ear I have Ted Baxter, in the other ear I have Georgina. And Ted Baxter's going, hey Tim, you can quit. You just did 5K in 21 minutes and 35 seconds. And then Georgina's going, but if you continue, who knows what you could achieve if you carry on to the rest of the race? And Ted's going, no, quit now. You can walk back to the village. There's no disgrace. You can just go home, tell everyone you did 5K in 21 minutes. Georgina's going, just carry on, Tim. Do what you're best. And I'm not part of this conversation, by the way. But just then, I noticed this guy running in front of me. He's got the strangest outfit. He's all dressed in green. He's got green top on and green bottoms. He's like, am I boring you? I'm sorry. Sorry, do you want to have a nap? And you know, no, sorry, that's mean. But he's got one long green pant leg and one short green pant leg. And I'm thinking, why would somebody have one long green pant leg and one short green pant leg? And meanwhile, Ted and Mary are arguing in my ears. And then I realized the guy's got an artificial leg. And this is going to sound wrong however I say it, but I think to myself, if he can do it, I can do it. So I fix my eyes on his butt. And I just keep trying to keep 30 feet from him. And then eventually we get into the town and people are shouting either side of the street. But the loudest voice is Ted going, you can quit now. You can walk there and get there under 48 minutes. And Georgina's going, no, carry on, carry on. Well, as they argued, I crossed the finish line. And I collapsed. And there's this lady there, she's handing out medals. And she sees me lying on the ground, and she bends down and she says, if you want a medal, you have to get back in line. And I don't know if I ever got a medal. But what I saw was this guy with the artificial leg walk off and get in his Toyota Tercel, I remember that much, and drive off. And my time was 41 minutes and 16 seconds. And at first, to me, it was just a race. But after that, it became a life story because I say to my friends and to my family, as you go through life, you're never conscious of people looking at you and following your example, but they are. And so everything you do is being watched by somebody else. And they're looking at you for that example, that inspiration to be better than they are. And that guy inspired me to do something I've never done before and have never done since. Thank you.
Megaw, everyone.